in Japanese. And then when it's time to record, we'll be rolling and I'll hear a series of beeps in my headphones. I'll go beep, beep, beep. And where the fourth beep is supposed to be, that's my cue to start talking. And I read whatever line, like, okay, coming in for line 122. All right, cool. Beep, beep, beep. Edward, drink your milk, or whatever the line is. And so the actor speaks, and the director is watching the same screen, same animation screen, and maybe that wasn't long enough. So they'll say, okay, come in one more time, you have more time. Okay, so we do it again until it fits. Sometimes the engineer digitally can take a sound file and compress it to make it fit, or stretch it to make it fit, but you can only do that so much before you're able to hear it. Used to be, like on old tape players and stuff, you could slow down a voice, but it also would change the pitch of the voice. Well, digitally, it takes, say the file is this big, or like this big, and needs to be this big. So they would just drag it with their mouse, and then digitally, all the little gaps are filled in, so the pitch never changes. It's pretty crazy how far they can stretch things, but sometimes you can hear it. So then they would say, okay, though that's still not going to work. Maybe we determine it doesn't match the animation flaps well enough, so we rewrite the line, we add words or take words out, and you just do that sometimes one line at a time. Some actors and directors like to do whole scenes at a time. We'll do a whole page, and you can either follow along. Sometimes the other voices have already been recorded, sometimes not. So it's a lot like, say, people who are in Star Wars or something, recording in costumes, but everything around them is just a giant green screen. And they're being told, all right, there's some TIE fighters back here, the Jabba the Hutt is over there. You're like, okay, you just have to pretend. So it's that way a lot with voice acting. Sometimes you go in and none of the other characters have been recorded yet. And you just rely on your director to know what you're supposed to sound like. And take it a line at a time, or a page at a time, or whatever. That's how it works.
It sort of sounds the way you describe it in the booth and stuff. It's what they call ADR.
Yeah, ADR, okay. Which stands for Automated Dialogue Replacement.
Yes. And also there's prelay, where everybody's all to get together and stuff. And the animation hasn't been done yet.
But that's not dubbing. So dubbing requires ADR. Prelay is, like Bugs Bunny, or Teen Titans, or whatever, cartoons Powerpuff Girls, whatever you watch. Prelay is cool because the actors aren't limited by the animation flaps. They have as long as they want to say their lines. And what's great is a lot of times the animators will come and watch them and put some of their physical characteristics into the drawings. But we don't have that luxury in anime. But I don't think that means we're any less skilled. It's more like math or music, probably, I would say, because you have to have very good rhythm to do it.
Okay.
Sparklies.
Yeah.
So what got you interested in acting, and do you do any other art forms?
What got me interested in acting? Do I do any other art forms? I wish I could say that I just woke up and was like, I'm born to be an actress. That's just not really true. I think I always did it for fun as a kid in church plays and school plays and things like that. But when you're real small, that's just something you do. Like, everybody's in the school play and you have to do it. But in middle school, my best friend started doing community theater, and when I went and saw her and saw how much fun she was having and got to meet the friends that she had made that don't go to our school, I'm like, this is really neat. How fun to get to do different things like that. And so once I got to high school, that's when I really started pursuing theater. I was in band. I played the trumpet. I was in choir. I sing. So that meant, I didn't join choir until my sophomore year. But by sophomore year, I had 2 electives. So there's no room to take theater classes or drama classes, whatever they call it in high school. So I didn't, but I did. I was part of the club, and I auditioned for all the plays. And after my freshman year, I was in practically every play in high school. And I was fortunate enough to go to a really cool church that put on more than just your standard Easter show and Christmas show. We actually had a service that was all based around dramas. So at the beginning, there'd be some slice of life type drama of some kind, and sometimes they're very realistic, and other times they're ridiculous and silly. But there was a troupe of actors, and I got to be a part of that troupe. And then afterwards, the sermon would be based on the drama that everyone just watched for 10 or 15 minutes. So that is when I really started acting. I guess I did, like I said, little shows in elementary school. And then in high school, I did all of that. And when it came time for college, I knew I was going to go to college. And it didn't make any sense to me to do anything else that I didn't really like. If acting is what I liked best, then that's what I should be doing. Like, it never crossed my mind that I should, I need to go become an accountant because I can make money. Like, making money, I didn't really think anything about that. I knew I had a scholarship, I was going to school, and I'm going to study theater, and we'll see what happens. And here I am. So it worked out.
Okay, we'll go with the guy over there with the wacky hairstyle.
With the wacky hairstyle.
That was awesome. I love you already.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I was curious. What do you think of Seattle? Have you been here before? You been to this area?
I came to Seattle a little less than a year ago to Penny Arcade Expo last year. I was a guest of Destineer, their video game company, and I did a Full Metal Alchemist game for the DS, Dual Sympathy. I was in that game, so they wanted me to come and sit at their booth and sign for a day. And that's all I had time to do. I'd been going from con to con to con, and it was like my one free weekend, but they said, if you could just come one day. And I'm like, all right. So I came, and that's the first time I've ever been to Seattle. This is my second time. Unfortunately, I haven't seen much of anything else besides my hotel and this convention center. But I don't go home until Monday, so maybe Sunday night when the con is closed down, I can do some Seattle something. That would be awesome. Space Needle? What do I think of it?
Yes.
I like it. I dig it. I'm from San Diego, which is also another very metropolitan city by the ocean. So it has a lot of similarities.
So you must spend all your time at Horton Plaza.
I didn't live in San Diego proper. I lived in North County. My grandmother lives closer to Horton Plaza, but I like the bay a lot whenever I get to go home.
I'm from Orange County, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yay, San Diego.
Orange County.
Other questions?
Any more questions? Come on, don't be shy.
Yes, Mom, in the back.
What does your mom do?
What does my mom do? My mom does everything. My mom's awesome. Right now, she works for a company that she started that job when I was in high school, so she's been there almost 10 years, I guess. She works for an alarm company, and she just, she does a million things there, but I don't even understand everything that she does. For the most part, she monitors all of the alarm systems that the company does whatever to, takes care of, all of their clientele, and whenever they go off, she calls them and it's like, oh, you have an alarm in such and such room, and if she has to, she dispatches the police, but that's only a portion of what she does. So she works very long hours because it's a job that not everybody wants. So there's a couple people who always work there, and everyone else is always in and out. So she's a hard-working lady.
Okay, I'll ask another question.
Yes.
Is there one place that you want to go to visit for a convention that you haven't been yet? Is there one sort of place that sort of stands out amongst everything else?
Well, all of us want to go to Kauai Con because it's in Hawaii. Who wouldn't want to go there? See, even the people next door want to go.
Oh, yeah.
They heard me and they're cheering. I'm sure there is, and I finally got to go to Florida for the first time. I went to MegaCon at the beginning of March. That was cool.
Are you going to be able to go to KamuraCon down in Portland, Oregon?
I have not been invited.
You should be.
Well, they'd have to invite me. I've never been to Oregon. It would be cool. I don't know how long this anime gig is going to last for me, but it would be neat if by the end of it I could say I went to every state to go to a convention. It'd be neat. I've already been to Alaska. That's impressive right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
How about the ones in Canada?
I haven't been to Canada. I do. Thank you for reminding me. I would love to go to Canada. There are 3 or 4 cons up in Canada, and I've never been, and I want to go.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what I'm working on. You know.
Oh.
So what
I know people are working behind the scenes,
If you want Kaylin to be at whatever convention you go to, but make sure go to the forums that basically have these things that's who you want to see for 2008 whatever,
and
right?
don't be nasty because then they'll be like, oh, those WTA kids, and then we'll get a bad reputation because other fan groups that we know and love and may be a part of have been known for doing that. Just attacking cons and like, why aren't you inviting so-and-so actor? That is not going to get the actor invited. It's just more of a, hey, it would be cool if you could have, you know, Greg Ayres at your con. And then they just kind of scan the forum and go, wow, a lot of people really want Greg Ayres to come. Maybe we should invite him. Just that kind of thing.
Okay, yeah, maybe a long stocking right in the back. Yeah.
Yeah.
You.
Okay. I heard that Funimation was going to be doing Oran High School Quiz Club. Is there anything you can tell us about that? Or?
No, nothing I can say about it. It's super high profile, so we can't talk about it. Anybody who knows anything, which is everybody at Funimation, knows something about what's going on with that show, and we're not allowed to say. So.
They can